Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my match predictions for week 11 Premier League fixtures. And what a set of results we just had for week 10. We saw the battle of El Sacico, and although Man United must have won the battle, we all know Tottenham won the war because they got their manager sacked and got Antonio Conte, one of the best managers in the world. Other surprising results, we saw Crystal Palace and Vieira march to Etihad and actually get a win against Man City. We saw Liverpool drop points and Chelsea cruise on in their last game as well. But going into this set of fixtures, we got some amazing games. We got the Manchester derby. We had to see Conte's first game as the Tottenham boss against Everton. We have Liverpool versus West Ham, which is set to be an exciting game. So let's just hope for more goals, more thrills, and more entertainment. But before we go to this video, you know what I'm going to say. Make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that big subscribe button right there. And make sure you guys in the comment section give me your own predictions. Who's going to win in week 11 Premier League fixtures? So the first game I'm going to talk about is obvious. It's a given. It's the Manchester derby. Manchester United versus Manchester City. And this is set to be such a pivotal game so early on in the season. I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got a positive result against Tottenham and against Atalanta. But let's be honest, the pressure still isn't off. Imagine if he loses 3 or 4-0 against Man City like he did to Liverpool at Old Trafford. Surely that means his job is in danger yet again. But not only this is a massive game for Man United, but no one's really talking about this. If Man United actually pull off a miracle to actually beat Manchester City at Old Trafford and Chelsea win their next game and Liverpool win their next game, Man City are going to be 8 points off the top already from Chelsea, and it's only been 13 or 12 games or so. So Man City can't be dropping points yet again, especially when we know how efficient Chelsea have been this season. So it's a pivotal game for both teams, and we've seen in recent years where both teams just accept draws. This ain't going to cut it. However, all I can talk about is the here and now. What Manchester United can do or Manchester City can do to get the 3 points. And I like what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did for once this season. You know, when his back was against the wall, against Tottenham Hotspur, he was like, you know what? Forget this. Let me just play the players I can trust. The experienced seasoned veterans who have been in all sorts of predicaments. Ronaldo at Real Madrid, where it looks like every other manager is going to lose their job. Even Cavani at PSG. These guys know what it's about. They're not fazed by the massive moment when they lose 5-0 against Liverpool. They know that this is what comes with playing for a massive club. Players like Rashford, obviously Sancho's still young, maybe they'll feel nervous, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went to the players he knew he could trust and he got the result against Atalanta and Tottenham. But going into this game is going to be so interesting to see what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does. We know he's starting to favour the back five like he started off against Atalanta and Tottenham. However, Varane, who's probably spearheading the back five, he's not going to be playing in this game against Man City, most likely because he came off injured against Atalanta. So does this mean Lindelof, Bailly and Maguire are all going to start together? And we know under Mourinho's reign how terrible that was whenever they formed a partnership. Any of them, it just didn't work. And I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may be happy they got a great result against Tottenham. Obviously compact, solid, defensively sound. They actually kept a clean sheet for once. They've only kept 2 clean sheets in their last 21 games or something pathetic. So obviously he's going to be happy about that, especially against the top 6 side against Tottenham. But let's be honest, Tottenham have only scored 9 goals in their last 9 games. Playing the back 5 against Man City isn't going to cut it. They're ruthless, they're clinical just like Liverpool and can literally end the game in a matter of moments. So if Man United actually look to sit back in this whole entirety of the game, I just see Man City actually liking this and probably breaking down this Man United side. I think they'll get through to them. But then again, it would probably be stupid to go toe-to-toe with Manchester City, just like Man United did against Liverpool, when they were actually doing half-hearted pressing, which allowed Liverpool to slice through Manchester United like butter. So obviously, it's a predicament Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's in, and I think he's going to favour the back 5, and I probably think this is the best chance he has of actually beating Man City at home. But at the end of the day, if you keep the game close, if you keep the games in arm's reach, you got that number 7, or you want to call number 9 up front, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest players of all time, who is guaranteed to bag you a goal when it really matters. This guy's responsible, for 50% of Manchester United goals this season? So if you just keep the game in arm's reach so Ronaldo can impact it, Manchester United have a great chance of getting a positive result against Man City. And Man City haven't had the best of records against Man United in the Premier League or so against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in recent years, picking up draws, even losses against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They're away from home, they're not in great form themselves, and obviously they're going to desperately need this result. So honestly, I feel like this game is actually a lot closer than people actually think. I may go for a 1-1 draw between these two sides. Manchester United are home. They got the home support. I feel like if Fred and McTominay start together, this is going to be a good partnership, especially if you want to defend well as a compact unit and literally be aggressive in the midfield to prevent Manchester City from actually providing their fluid style of play. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Everton versus Spurs, and oh my days, so much drama, so much entertainment in the last week or so. Obviously Nuno getting sacked and them appointing one of the best managers in the world, Antonio Conte. And going to this game against Everton, I feel like Spurs actually have a decent chance of winning this game. First reason, we all know when the new manager comes in, there's a new buzz, a new excitement. Players want to prove their worth to the new manager, that they deserve to be starting every single game. Just like we saw the start of Nuno, where Tottenham had 3 positive results, winning all 3 of their first games despite them being 1-0. So I think the Tottenham players will still have this buzz of excitement and enthusiasm in their first few games under Antonio Conte's reign. And Antonio Conte is the best manager to light a spark underneath these Tottenham players, because the way they've been playing recently just ain't been cutting for it, especially if they want to be competing for a top 4 or even a top 6 place. We're going to see Antonio Conte run down the touchline like a madman, like Simeone and even Klopp used to do in his early days at Liverpool, trying to inspire and get into the psyches of these Tottenham players' heads. And I think it's going to be positive for these Tottenham players going against an Everton side who we know have been in poor form recently, losing 4 of their last 6 games, losing 3 of their last 3 games, and it's starting to feel like that Rafa Benitez early moments in the season starting to wear off. Benitez was brought in to provide defensive stability, and we're starting to see it creep in the holes in that defensive side. Everton, they've conceded 7 goals in their last 2 games. So going into this game, I honestly think Tottenham will actually win. So going into this game, I feel like players like Son, Kane, Ndombele, Lo Celso, Bergwijn, whoever starts, are going to be excited by this new fit, a world-class manager, and they're going to want to prove a point that they should be starting. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Spurs. The next game I'm going to be predicting is West Ham versus Liverpool. And as a Liverpool fan, I am actually frightened of West Ham. I know we had 2 great results last year, stealing 6 points out of a possible 6 points against West Ham, home and away, but this West Ham side is different compared to that last side. I feel like this West Ham side have gotten better with age, just like wine. They feel like the continuity, the balance of the team, they're starting to get used to each other like last season. No real adjustments, obviously Zuma coming into the side, but apart from that, it feels like the same old. Johnson coming in at right back as well, but the spine of that side is still the same and they're still playing excellent. And I feel like as a Liverpool fan, there are 2 main worries we must counteract if we want to win this game. First of all, West Ham at set pieces, an absolute nightmare, devastating, dangerous. They know how to whip the ball in with Cresswell and get their players free to get a goal. Craig Dawson has scored headers. Players like Antonio scored against Tottenham. Rice, Soucek, all these dangerous 6-foot+ players West Ham have. It's going to be hard to man mark, or if Liverpool go with a zone marking system, it's going to be hard for Liverpool to deal with them, especially when Liverpool do not have the players who are that sort of height. Maybe Van Dijk and Henderson and Curtis Jones, but apart from that, Liverpool are actually a very small side. So if West Ham actually win a corner, I feel like David Moyes is going to be using this to his advantage to try get a good goal. Other things which I'm worried about as well, Antonio up front. Obviously, we have Van Dijk, the best centre-back in the world, but I feel like Antonio's hold-up play this season has been incredible. Even last year, the way he brings his players into the game of football, allowing runners in behind of him like Rice, even players like Funal, Ben Rama and Bowen, the way he uses his strength, the way he shields the ball and allows them to play off him is marvellous and provides them more space to play in. I feel like whoever's that enforcer, so it probably won't be Van Dijk, but someone like Matip, Gomez, or even Konate, they have to step in and be aggressive and make him feel unsettled when he gets the ball to feet. If Liverpool can actually counteract these 2 things, I feel like we have a great chance of winning this game. And obviously, I'm not trying to say West Ham are the favourites going to this game, because let's be honest, Liverpool have been marvellous all season, still undefeated, people will forget, so let's not forget that. And our goal scorers have been absolutely flying with Mane and Salah up front. Firmino has started to cool down a little bit, but apart from that, we have been scoring goals for fun. But if we can make those right defensive adjustments, we have a good chance of winning this game. We were 2-0 up against Brighton, drew 2-2. We had so many leads against Brentford, we drew 3-3. So we have seen the defensive frailties creep into this side, and I feel like West Ham will be licking their lips to see if they actually have a chance. But going into this game, I'm just going to give my Liverpool side the slight edge, and I'm going to be predicting a 2-1 victory for Liverpool. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Arsenal versus Watford. And I know I did not predict an Arsenal win against Leicester, and you can't blame me because of the way Arsenal have been inconsistent under Arteta for 2 or 3 years now. But I have to give Arsenal their credit. They're actually starting to look like a team. I feel like the back four have been solid, sound, and that is not a phrase we like to use on Arsenal players because we know defensively they have been abysmal in recent years. But it's starting to feel like Gabriel and White are starting to form a great partnership as the centre backs. Gabriel obviously the enforcer, going into challenges, dealing with the target man, and you have White, the ball playing centre back. You can actually get on the ball. Obviously Ramsdale was absolutely magnificent. The saves he was pulling off against Leicester was absolutely phenomenal. The free kick save, coming out of his box, being commanded, dealing with set pieces. He had the all-round perfect performance as a goalkeeper. Obviously other stand-up performances, Smith Rowe showing that not only he can carry the ball, but he's adding goals into his game, because that was the only real criticism of his game. Yes, we know he can pick up the ball, drive at the defense and potentially create a chance, but we're starting to live in an age of football where you're starting to need the goals as well, and I feel like Smith Rowe is starting to add this into his game. But what I'm starting to love about Arsenal the most is the resiliency. They're starting to show that they have steel about them, because Arsenal sides in the past, even Tottenham, have shown to be flimsy. You can be bullied around and you can get a result. But we saw Arsenal go to Brighton in tough weather, nick a draw, 0-0. Not the best result, but in the conditions, you can't actually blame them. Going against Leicester, they literally had an avalanche of chances against Arsenal, but they battled, they were strong, they showed their skill and their toughness throughout the game to show that they can survive against Leicester's attacks, and they have very good players. But going to the game against Watford, it's going to be a lot different compared to Leicester and Brighton. Obviously those games, they were sitting back a little bit more, but this game, they have to be the enforcer, they have to be the aggressor, and they actually have to show they can actually take the game to Watford and actually get a positive result. Aubameyang and Lacazette have been forming a great partnership up front, like we've seen in the last few games or so. Like I said about Smith Rowe, relieving pressure of Saka, because last season it was Saka or bust. So I feel like Arsenal have a decent chance of winning this game, a very good chance. They should be the favourites. And Ranieri, obviously the new manager of Watford, still needs more time to adapt his style of football with the players. You can see it with their inconsistent performances. One time they're winning 5 at Goodison Park, next minute you're losing at home to Southampton. They're still trying to find a rhythm or a way of play to gel with each other. So going into this game, I feel like Arsenal will win, continue the momentum, and I'm going to be predicting a 2-0 win at the Emirates for Arsenal. So the last game I'm going to be predicting is Chelsea versus Burnley. Top of the Premier League versus one of the teams who are in and about the relegation zone. But let me just start with Burnley. Finally, they got their first win of the season. So be against Brentford, but I don't think Sean Dyche will care. I don't think the players will care. They just needed this win. And I know there's a lot of people having Burnley to get relegated this season, but let's be honest, this is what Burnley do. They're just slow burners. They're slow starters. They will lose their first 5 or 6 games, but gradually get into the season and pick up points with ease and be safe from relegation and nowhere near it. And we know Burnley's greatest strength: be physical, get the ball up to Chris Woods, literally be a nuisance up there, bring players into play, be aggressive, use your shoulders, use your elbows, literally just try to intimidate the opposition. And we know they're going to bring this style of play against Chelsea. But we know Burnley's greatest strength. Chelsea can easily match this. And we saw this against Brentford away from home when they were able to win the game 1-0. And the reason being is because we know Chelsea have strong, powerful, physical players themselves. Loftus-Cheek, man of the match performance against Malmo, literally toying with their midfield. The way he was picking up the ball with ease, driving at players, showing his skill, his quality on the ball was absolutely amazing. And then Chelsea with their great defence, literally the Berlin Wall. You got Christensen, Rudiger, Thiago Silva, whoever you want to play, Chalobah, Sarr, amazing centre-backs who can deal with the physicality of the Premier League and who can deal with Chris Woods even if he isn't aerial danger. Even Mendy as a goalkeeper, one of the best goalkeepers, not only in the Premier League but in the world. The way he commands his box, the way he comes out for corners, he's aggressive, he's confident. You can't bully him off the ball even when you're trying to win a header against him when he's trying to catch the ball. He's absolutely amazing, and we saw this against Brentford, being the man of the match. So this is Burnley's best style of play, But I feel like Chelsea can neutralise the style of play and actually probably win this game like they did twice last season, getting 6 points out of a possible 6. So going into this game at Stamford Bridge is going to be an easy win, and I feel like Chelsea will end this weekend going into the international break top of the Premier League. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 typical Chelsea win, with obviously their quality going forward as well. So unlucky Burnley fans, sorry about that, but I think Chelsea are going to win.